Nova Cloudwalker's Tale is a game about creating paths and exits and opportunities, and you'll be doing this walking between the ground and the mountain ranges around you, and moving the clouds around you to walk across them, because you are a Cloudwalker after all. However, it's not just around moving clouds and creating pathways, it's also around combining clouds together to create new entirely different platforms for you to be able to manoeuvre around, and that's really where the crux of the difficulty of this game comes into play. I first played this game during the Cerebral Puzzle showcase earlier this year with a demo, thoroughly enjoyed it, but did have reservations about what you could do with that one specific mechanic. I was totally wrong. This game has plenty to offer, and it's far more difficult than the cute fluffy exterior with cutesy, relaxing ambient musical vibes. Like, it wears its devil skin underneath, because these puzzles are quite fiendish. And this might be just me, because sometimes you don't have too many options to actually play with. Yet I'm still choosing the wrong one quite often. And I'm sitting there going, scratchy chin, trying to work out what on earth to do. Thankfully, there is a undo button that you can spam quite happily, and a restart button too, and you'll be hitting them often, because whilst technically you can complete levels by joining up clouds and paths and getting from A to B and exiting, most of the progression in this game is locked behind being able to capture all of the different star shards, the orange little sparkles that are on the screen. That often requires a very different solution to just clearing the level, and whilst clearing the level opens up the next one in that set and that world for you to potentially go and get more stars, you'll still need to collect at least 20 stars across each of the worlds on average to be able to then unlock the next world and the next collection of things and the next game mechanic. And that's the key thing here. I thought this was all going to be about just moving clouds around and creating paths. No. So the first thing that it starts to do is to then allow you to join clouds together, and that allows you to create all kinds of wrong shapes that mean that you can't quite get your way from A to B. It also means that you might have the option to get from A to B, but not the option to collect the stars, or vice versa. And so it's a lot around working out which clouds you're connecting, not just in placement, like is it moving two side by side or one on top of the other, or creating a square, or maybe you want to do like a little Tetris like right angle or something like that. It's all available to you potentially, but it's just as much around the order in when and how you push all of these things together too, because quite often, because the levels are all a single screen and quite small and claustrophobic, it gets like Sokoban-ish, where you're trying to have to push all of the different clouds around and work out how to get from A to B that way. Some of the levels are quite long and elongated as well, where you'll be moving lots of clouds back and forth, and you'll be like jumping between the same two to almost like surfboard between two clouds to get across a gap. That happens quite often. But also from level 3 or world 3 onwards, you'll have collapsible paths and collapsible clouds. And that really was where the difficulty started to make me really scratch my head, because not only are you having to think about how to one-shot every single step that you make because everything falls away beneath you, but you're also having to work out, okay, maybe I need to join some clouds together, then walk across a specific floor to create enough of a gap for that to then release the cloud so it can maneuver around the level better, and then get to where you need it to go, only for you to then stand on it and then for it to collapse after you've gone anyway. So this is a game where you have to mentally visualize all of your moves ahead of time, and that's why it's so crucial to have that kind of undo button, because quite often I was just going around trying different ideas and then going nope, because it would leave me at like weird dead ends or something like that. So yeah, I found this one particularly challenging. It might just be the way how my brain works, but yeah, nice cute exterior, fiendish interior, and that's great. Now, whilst I was totally pleasantly surprised with the puzzles and the variety of puzzles that was in Nova Cloudwalker's Tale, I was less excited about the story. And I think this is because where the levels are linear and branch out so that you can choose different ones and reach kind of different story points in different orders, what the game has done is tried to tell the story by getting you to walk through various different empty rooms or chambers or mountain top passes, and there's various different carvings and paintings and things like that all on the wall, trying to tell you elements of a story, but nothing ever pulls it all back together again. And so I think I understood what was going on, but I'm not entirely sure, and it didn't feel like it stuck the landing on any of the story element of this game at all. Now thankfully, I bet a load of you haven't really come for the story element in a pure block Sokoban-ish style puzzle game, so it will be a minor mute point for a lot of people. But yeah, there's a lot with the visual and audio design that just absolutely works, but it doesn't follow through on that telling the story through visuals rather than an actual like narration type thing. However, minor mute point, if you're after a fiendish puzzle game that looks like it's going to be cute and colourful on the surface but actually hands your bum back to you quite often, time and time again, then perhaps Nova Cloudwalker's Tale could be one for you. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.